Let's get this mortal glory stew started. Throw in some rogue turn-based combat, now a heaping of team resource management, add in a sprinkle of random events for seasoning, and we're done. That's the recipe for mortal glory. Now we'll explore each of the ingredients separately to see if this is a cohesive dish that's delicious or a disgusting mess. The first part is team management. You're the manager of the crew after some goblin gives you some starting capital, I don't know. Your duties include hiring the fighters, buying equipment, and teaching them new spells. This whole part of the game is pragmatic, which is an excellent way to say it's simple and not much to look at. It's not really that complicated. This is a really simple part of Mortal Glory anyway, so it's fine. The gladiators have a wide range of data points you need to consider: strength, agility, wisdom, vitality, and armor. Then each of those stats has more stats they influence. For example, the more agility a character has, the more spaces they can move on a turn. Not only do they have those points, but there's different races as well, which will also influence their stats. Sometimes the gladiators will come with spells, and they can have up to 4. There's a lot to consider when building the team. You'll definitely want some meat shields, but a wizard might be useful as well. Your team composition will be a big part of how you play in the arena. Your team can have up to 10 characters, but only 4 can go in the arena at one time. Still, it's good to have a few extras that you can send into the arena if one of your mains is hurt. The problem with sending a weaker character is that there's no opportunity to level them up. Sending them against stronger enemies is a terrible idea. Now, I guess the hope is that you'll be able to afford the better gladiators late game. Yet that doesn't seem likely. I'm too busy spending all the cash on item upgrades, which there are a ton of since you'll want to fill up 3 slots on the 4 characters you send into the arena. There are weapons, armor, and accessories. You can also buy new spells, so there's a lot to spend your cash on. The strategy comes in as you try and decide where to spend your gold. Do you hire a new gladiator that will fit better on the team? Do you make sure that everyone has an accessory? Making smart decisions and using your limited funds to the maximum potential is the only way to beat the game, which means this is going to take some trial and error to figure out. Moving on to the second part of Mortal Glory, the arena. This is turn-based combat that is inspired by Rogue. If you've played Dungeons of Dreadmore or Dungeon Mans, there's a lot of dungeons there, you'll understand the mechanics. One of the aspects I like most about this kind of combat is that it gives you an unlimited time to consider your moves. Great for players who want to think of all the options. Unlike Rogue games in Mortal Glory, you're controlling all 4 characters. The arena is about managing position and trying to get the enemy to attack the meat shields. Charging directly at the enemy isn't always the best choice, but it isn't bad. But making sure that you get into range quick enough to assist is essential. Characters that can only move one space can ruin a battle. Now, I've decided on a third option, actually, right now, waiting for the enemy to come to you. It's not a tactic I employ very much, but I guess it is feasible. Note that the screen before the start fights shows you everything you need to know about the enemies, which is great. I always say, the more information, the better. And with this much, it really helps you plan out how you can win. Anyway, there is one element of randomness that can help gain some gold: the Emperor. They're watching from the big chair, and they have demands and desires. These can be a real pain in the ass to complete. A desire is something he would like to see, and if you can complete it, you'll get extra gold. For example, getting an enemy's health to precisely 0 as you knock them out. On the other hand, the demands must be met, so you must complete them, or there is a punishment, which feels harsh, and it's annoying when you win, but still fail the demand. It's a smart mechanic though, and it keeps the arena interesting. And there's not much else to say. Use everything you've got in the battle because it can be a struggle to come back from a loss. You do not gain as much gold, and any gladiator that falls takes a debuff called an injury token. Once a character gets a stack of 10, they die permanently. I guess death is permanent, but this is when swapping other gladiators in is a good idea. But as long as the gladiator doesn't fall again, they will have one injury token removed from a battle. So you can take them again, and as long as you win and they don't fall, you're good to go. It's a plausible strategy. Keep in mind the tournament is broken up into rows of 3 matches until the next tier. You're allowed to lose once per row before you're out of the competition. Anyway, between arena fights, the game offers you random events. These have all kinds of rewards, but at a cost. For example, sometimes giving a few coins to a beggar will reward you with an item, and that's one of the more normal ones. There are also opportunities to sabotage the enemy team. It's fun when you get lucky, and it makes the next fight easier. What's great is that Mortal Glory shows you the success and failure percentages instead of guessing if it's going to work. You can't get angry when a 5% chance fails. Well, I mean, I guess you can get angry, but that's luck for you. Overall, Mortal Glory is a simple game with a short game loop, which means it's easy to understand the base mechanics. But with the random shop, random events, and the whims of the Emperor, it's going to take a few runs to figure it out. A little luck is required too. Now, I'm a huge fan of how much information the game gives you. Definitely worth considering Mortal Glory. Thank you. Mortal Glory was impressive since only one developer made it, but what should I play next? Thanks for watching. You can hit subscribe now.